Hey, what's up, Chicago? It's your mayor, Brandon Johnson. We're here for the annual Bike to Drive on a beautiful day, this Labor Day weekend. Just want to send a message to the rest of the world. This is not a hellhole. We're building the safest, most affordable big city in America, and we're doing it together. Let's get it.
In Chicago, everybody got to get down. Everybody got to get down because they shoot. Everybody down. Look, these kids are running. They shooting. We can't have no fun in Chicago, man. No fun, man. This is terrible. I'd have thought damn flag. Cause this y'all neighborhood.
This might be over there. I got to figure this out.
We've already had ongoing operations with ICE in Chicago and throughout Illinois and other states, making sure that we're upholding our laws. But we do intend to add more resources to those operations. I won't disclose the details because they are law enforcement and investigative folks that are on the ground there, and I want to make sure we keep their security our number one priority. But we will continue to go after the worst of the worst across the country, like President Trump has told us to do, focusing on those that are perpetuating murder and rape and trafficking of drugs and humans across our country, knowing that every single citizen deserves to be safe.
Is there any problem with stopping crime, stopping human trafficking, stopping drugs and drug trafficking? Is there any politician you knew before 2023 that would have said, all that's bad? Oh, and you can add illegal immigration onto that. Is there any politician ever that would have said, no, I'm running on my platform here is to let as many people in the country as possible, to let crime run rampant, and let kids get trafficked, and let drugs come in and out of my town. Who in their right mind would have a smidgen of a choice or possibility of being elected? But that's specifically what the Democrats are doing right now.
They shouldn't be doing it. It's anti-American. It's un-American. And I would tell her to maybe check herself for what does she really believe. What we won't do, however, is engage in what is a federal effort. That is to say, they have their job, immigration. We have our job, which is to fight violent crime on the streets of our city. And by the way, we're succeeding at that job.
Meanwhile, we're following some breaking news this morning. At least 7 people shot during a drive-by on the city's south side in Bronzeville. Here's what we know. Chicago police say it happened near 35th and South State Street around 11:10 last night. Officers responding to a call about multiple people being shot. Investigators believe a car drove by the area when someone from inside opened fire into a crowd. 5 men, 2 women were all struck. All were taken to a hospital, are in good condition. No one is in custody. We're beginning with breaking news this morning. 7 people in the hospital after they were shot just around the corner from Chicago Police headquarters. Police say men were driving by right near a crowd. This was at 36th and State when at least one person pulled out a gun and opened fire on the entire group. Officers found 2 women and 5 men with gunshot wounds. This happened just after 11 last night. The victims were all between the ages of 28 and 32 years old. All of them are expected to recover. No one is in custody.
I think it's going to do the
No one is in custody. We're doing a great job here in Chicago. I had told you yesterday, just keep watching the stats, see what's going to happen. So that was this morning. The tally will continue because we're in a holiday weekend, so don't worry about Monday. Check it Tuesday morning and see what the tally is. But let me show you where it is right now, because Governor Pritzker just said we're doing a great job. Okay, that's because they don't want you to look at this. So far, and this was as of this morning, 35 people have been shot, 5 killed just thus far in Labor Day weekend. Let that sink in. These mayors and governors are screaming bloody murder, I should have said bloody hell, about Trump coming in and cleaning up their communities because they can't do it, yet they think they're doing a fantastic job. Everything's fine. 35 people, 5 dead, just this weekend. That's like a whole year for most bad communities. That might be 20 years for the community you live in. 30. I can't even tell you how long it's been since somebody's been shot in Boca. I could tell. What are you talking about? You're doing it's successful. It's working. Yeah, it's really happening. We're doing a great job. We don't need him. If you don't need him, how is this happening? Explain to me how this is possible. I bet you by Tuesday morning it's 50. I mean, this night's just falling out there in Chi-Town, in Chirac right now. It's just beginning to happen. We don't know what tonight's activities are. We won't know it until 3 o'clock in the morning when the monsters come out. But they're staying dead center on making sure Trump doesn't come and help our communities. Why? Why do we want such havoc uniformly across the Democrat Party? Oh, we can't have Trump coming in. We're doing a good job. Next time somebody tells you they're doing a good job in these inner cities, just look at the data. And again, this is as of this morning. Let me see what it says here. Sunday, August 31st, as of 12:50 p.m., this was written. So they were just picking up the bodies from last night. And then tomorrow, I'm sure that the toll will be higher. There'll be a whole bunch more. There'll be a whole bunch more chalk outlines in the street. What are these people talking about?
Country if that happens. Deploying in Washington where he has federal control is one thing. But if he sends military forces into a major American city in a state that didn't ask for it, beyond Los Angeles, what do Americans make of that?
Well, they should understand that he has other aims other than fighting crime. That's the first thing they should understand. The second is it's an attack on the American people by the president.
The word, which you're going to hear a few times today, the word attack is so overused, but it's used on purpose because there's not much worse to do to somebody than to attack them. And so they're doing, the little MK Ultra thing right here by using the word attack. He didn't attack you. He's not attacking Americans. He's trying to enforce laws. So what you're basically saying is law enforcement, that's not right. It's un-American to enforce laws. Take out the word attack and put law enforcement. And then you realize, okay, we get what you're saying. You need these inner city communities to be hellholes. You need them a certain way. You can't traffic whatever goods you're going to traffic if it's a community where everybody feels safe and everybody's watching and they feel like they can contact somebody who's actually going to do something. That's what's going on in these communities. That and the fact that they are again protecting the newcomers. He's probably going to say it.
Of the United States. Now, he may disagree with a state that didn't vote for him, but should he be sending troops in? No.
You said he has other aims. What are the other aims?
The other aims are that he'd like to stop the elections in 2026 or, frankly, take control of those elections. He'll just claim that there's some problem with an election and then...
And the guy sitting there, I believe this was CBS News, once again, it's something you can recognize over and over. They never push back. Oh, that's what he wants? Yeah. Okay, Pritzker, yeah. How the F do you know this? Huh? You just said he wants to stop elections. What evidence? Where have you seen that anywhere that he wants to stop elections in Chicago? Once you start realizing the question and then the response and the lack of follow-up, then you can realize that you're watching a play in the television spectrum. It's just blah, 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 blah. They know when they show up to do the interview. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how Trump's a dick and, he just wants to stop elections. Good, let's go with it. Makeup, guys ready? Okay. So, hey, Governor Pritzker, why do you think he's coming? Oh, you want to stop an election? All right, wrap it, boys. Wait a second. If I'm in the crew, I'm like, do you want to ask him the follow-up question? No, that's all we're just going to put on the air, huh? Yeah, okay.
He's got troops on the ground that can take control if, in fact, he's allowed to do this.
Why would President Trump take control of your elections? You think because he just lost Chicago? Why? How? If it's a legal vote, if the people counting and the people voting are legally doing what they're supposed to be doing, what would there be to take control of? Which is a question I would ask. What exactly do you think he'll take control of? You said it, bro, not me. What are you concerned about? You get all these people voting for you. Oh, you're going to win in a landslide. Does it matter who counts? Does it matter who checks IDs and makes sure that people here are supposed to be here? I mean, you have overwhelming votes in Chicago, don't you? So why would that ever be a concern? You can anybody who wants to can come here, okay? You can all watch. We're going to kill you. We're going to completely do a landslide here. No doubt we're going to win Chicago. You can stand and count. Watch everybody show up. I'd be so confident. I would be so confident if I knew I had it that strongly over somebody. It's like me lining up against some, midget football. Like, y'all can all come watch. I'm about to destroy this 12-year-old kid. I wouldn't care who was in the stands, who had the whistles, because I know this isn't even a competition here. Well, if Chicago has been such a Democrat stranglehold for so long, why are you worried if somebody is watching or checking IDs? What if? Let's take it further. You're saying it will intimidate people so they won't show up. Didn't you win by 30 points? If you won by 30, if you still win by 25 because 5% for some reason didn't want to show up, they got warrants, whatever. Illegal. You're still going to win by 25 points. See, when you're that confident, when you know you've got the goods, I wouldn't care who is watching. And the fact that he's worried tells you volumes.
You've recently marked 100 days in office, and while the changes you've made seem to have made impact, according to data from the FBI examining each city's murder and property crime rates, Oakland still ranks as the second most dangerous place in the country. And
so yesterday I showed you from U.S. News and World Report where they did the top 20 or whatever most criminal places in America, and Oakland comes in number 2. And I can't believe that Al Sharpton actually brought that up. They're like, hey, mayor, yeah, you're the new mayor. What are you going to do about this? Well, you won't believe her answer, but maybe you will.
Police retention in the city has been a big problem for Oakland. The department says they are 300 officers short of what they need on the streets. Trump sending in the National Guard for 30 days doesn't seem like it would bring long-lasting change to this situation. What would actually help, since you've already started bringing some things down?
All right, so I want to stop there because you always need to hear the question so you can hear what the answer is. All right, so what can you do to, make this work so people don't get killed on the streets of your city? And even though you're 300 officers short, which is another problem as mayor, that's your problem. Why are you 300 officers short? Why'd they leave? Why have you not rehired them? Okay, so let's listen to her artful answer here.
The answer, those statistics aren't the correct statistics. When you look at the FBI report, Oakland, in the scheme of things, is number 17 or number 18 on its list. And so there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation about Oakland. And what...
That's her answer. It's wrong. A liberal network just said, hey, look, you're number 2. You're shit hellhole number 2. How are you going to fix this? Oh, it's wrong. How's it wrong? We're actually number 17. I, I heard her say that. And I'm like, oh my God. First, I laughed when she said it was wrong. Then I laughed louder when she said, but we're never 17. Okay. That good, huh? You're only the 17th worst city in the country. Using your own words. Here, listen to her say it again, because this is too funny.
Change in this situation. What would actually help since you've already started bringing some things down?
The answer, I mean, those statistics aren't the correct statistics. When you look at the FBI report, Oakland, in the scheme of things, is number 17 or number 18 on its list. And so there's a lot of...
I don't think she realized. I don't think you thought this out, honey. You just told the world it's bad, but it's not that bad. We haven't gone up to. We haven't aspired to be number 2 yet. Those numbers are way wrong. So what are your numbers? We're number 17. So you're not quite S-hole. You're not schlit-hole, but you're hell-hole. Keep it going.
Misinformation and disinformation about Oakland. And what would be helpful, of course, is funding our applications and our requests for more work with regard to our Department of Violence Prevention. We are trying to get to 700 police officers. We have a voter initiative that passed that wanted and directed us to get to 700. We're on that path. And yes, we are strained our budget, of course. Some jurisdictions are providing $75,000 signing bonus, but retention is extremely important. And so
I can't hire enough people who want to work in this hellhole. That's basically what you're saying. I can't recruit enough people who want to work in this crap. Then you're failing as a mayor. Who knows what direction you're telling these cops they can or can't do? But it's always come down to these black communities saying the same thing for 50 years. We need more money. We can't make it work unless we get more money. Well, you want to bet? You want to bet Trump could roll in there with the Humvees and clean it up like that? You know, Oakland's not a big town. It won't take much. I mean, I could probably talk to 4 or 5 beat cops and say, where's the problem? Like we talked with Chicago Flips Red when we talked to Danielle. Where's the problem? Where's the area? Anybody who lives in an area can tell you it's over there. Like I said, been out of Connecticut for 30, 40 years, and I could tell you where the hood is. You literally can just put a circle around that area and clean it up. So she knows where the hotbed is. Any cop in that force knows, hey, man, where is the place you don't realize you might not come home from? Oh, that's the south side over there. Okay, thank you. Let's go. Let's just roll the Humvees into the south side. This isn't brain surgery. I'm not a cop, but I know, number one, I would hire the people who could do it the right way. I would give those people the right, the instruction, do what you need to do to get it cleaned up. And if a couple people's heads gets busted around, then that's so be it. You have the right, you have now the authority to get in there and do what you need to do. You need to go dirty Harry on these people, I don't care. Clean it up. That's what she needs to do. And I don't mean dirty Harry from, just go start popping people, but if they're popping at you, pop back. Bring out the dogs, bring out the fire hoses. I don't care. Clean it up. Well, we need more money. No, you don't. You need to get the job done that you need to do. Even if you are down 300 officers, how about you maybe reallocate those officers who aren't working in the area that's the hellhole and say, get it done. You just saw, I showed you Chicago. I don't know if you paid attention closely to that, but the Chicago poo-poos where it happened overnight, it was a block away from the police department. Did you catch that? Where they had the 7 people get popped yesterday was a block away from the police department. The lady in the second newscast made a point to say it. Yeah, it was a block away from the police department. Put down the freaking donuts and go out there and police your area. When I grew up, probably when you grew up, One of the things we had that you never see nowadays, well, most of us don't live in a city, but cops walking the beat. Just being visible. Being visible was a deterrent. And back then, they used to give people whistles. If something happened, blow the whistle. There's probably a cop within a block or two who'll be right there. In addition, it would make sure all the neighbors heard something was wrong. Blow the whistle. So it's not hard. It's management. Get the job done.
The support from the federal government for retention and for recruitment would be welcomed. And also to help us invest more in our Department of Violence Prevention. But
what in the hell is the Department of Violence Prevention? That's some DEI social program. You shouldn't be robbing and stealing and doing drugs. You're way past that, honey. You need the Department of busting some noggins. I would volunteer to run the Department of Bust a Noggin. Because if these people knew that you were going to come in there with a hammer, they would think twice. If they knew that people coming in there also were armed to the hilt, they would think twice. So forget your department of fluffy buttercups. Let's go in there and whoop some butt. You can't, and then beg for money. Why is it here in 2025 we're still seeing Black communities begging? I'll tell you why. Probably where you live, and down here with Ron DeSantis until he changes it, property taxes pay a lot of the city's bills. Property taxes and other taxes are what sometimes fund a lot of the government. When the properties inside your hood ain't worth crap, you're not collecting any tax revenue. And it perpetuates and spreads. I told you yesterday about some of the Section 8 stuff. I told you how where I lived in the same city versus some of the rental properties, it was like 6x difference. I'm like, why is this so cheap? Oh, this is the hood. So if you're overwhelmingly hood, you can't afford to provide services. And you will continue to be in that situation because your city is a poop hole. So if you want to raise more money, get the knuckleheads out there, get the Department of Breaking Noggins in effect, and clean it up. And then guess what? People will come in and they'll renovate and they'll do different things. Oh no, gentrification. What do you think gentrification really does? It increases the tax base in the area. You know why? Because you clean it up and the property values go up and businesses come back because it's safe and you got a lot of retail traffic and everything else. And now the city's making more money. Think I'm lying? I'm pretty sure the Oakland City property appraisers information is online. Find out where the hood is and then find out what the tax base is. Find out, oh man, that piece of crap house is only getting you a couple grand a year. Yeah, you can't afford it because you let your city go to complete crap. It's all relative. It's easy to figure out. It's math. It's simple math. And the problem is that they keep hiring these DEI idiots who have no business sense.
Crime rate is coming down, even in spite of these challenges. So it's all hands on deck. We're working with our organizations to help recruit from inside of Oakland. We have many young people who are ready to go into the academies. We funded 5 new academies this year in our budget. We funded, we have an issue. We don't sweep our challenges under the rug with sideshows. And so we funded finally, which was not in the budget before, an additional a new investment in sideshow prevention. And so we're moving forward. And
did she say sideshow prevention? She got a whole lot of prevention committees instead of busted noggin committees. Everything's about appeasement with these people. I don't even know what that sideshow, I don't even know what that means. But what it doesn't sound like is going in the neighborhood and busting some noggins.
Fight of our challenges. We want people to
With all of this
Understand that.
with all this moving forward, you're saying the White House or no one in the federal government has reached out to talk to you about how they could be of assistance.
Asking me to deploy.
Why? Why? I've never had any well, maybe one or two, lender reach out to you and go, hey, man, could you use some money? It doesn't work that way. The person with the money, the person with the power, come, make your plea. What is it I can do for you, young Barry? Well, I'd like to, buy this apartment building. And what do you have to offer? Well, me and my partners here, we're going to put down this much and we're going to fix it. And here's what we've done before. And what can you afford to pay me? Because I'm going to make money on your back. See, I was trying to set that up from the beginning when she said that. It was like, oh, well, Mr. Rich guy, Mr. Rich white guy, Mr. Rich white Jewish guy, can I have 500,000 and I'll be at your disposal at the interest rate you're going to charge me. All right, I shall give you the money. And you shall pay me X% interest, and you shall pay me that monthly, and I shall at that point make money off your backs. See how that sounds stupid? No, it's a business transaction. It's always a business transaction. It's very simple. You don't wait for people to call you and offer you money. You pick up the damn phone, set some meetings, and go get the money. So when Al Sharpton just answered that question, has the federal government contacted you? Why should they? You have to be and take the initiative. Hey, I'd like to build some houses here and do this or do that and put up a shopping mall, which nobody will go to because people shop online. So that's the other problem. Obsolescence. Functional obsolescence. If you guys haven't seen the movie with Danny DeVito called Other People's Money, I urge you to go watch that. In that movie, he drives around, he's called Larry the Liquidator, and he finds businesses that are functionally obsolescent. They may even be profitable, but they're obsolescent. And so what he says is, I find this company, and he goes, you've got this much real estate, and you've got this much inventory, and you've got this pension fund, and all together it's worth this much. But if I were to buy this company, I'd only be worth this much. So what I'm going to do is bankrupt you. You're worth more dead than you're alive. I'm going to just buy your stock and short it. And I'm going to chop up all these things you have and sell them individually, and I'm going to make more money. And he walks in front of the shareholders, and it was such a compelling speech. I remember it today. No teleprompter. But he walks out after the guy said, we can't let him do this. We can't let him make all this money. And he walks up onto the stage, and he says, amen. Amen. And amen. You see, what you just heard was a prayer. And when I hear a prayer, I say amen. But unfortunately, what you just heard and what you just heard from that mayor was a prayer for the dead. And why are you dead? You're just not broke, but you're dead. Who says that a lot? President Trump says that, doesn't he? He could have been Larry the Liquidator. And the reason you're dead is because of functional obsolescence. And he closes that speech by saying, I bet the company who made the last standing buggy whip company was probably the best buggy whip company you'd ever see. And what that means is they were the best at doing what nobody wanted anymore. There was this thing called a car that came out. And so you could be the best buggy whip company you ever want to be, but you're now functionally obsolete because they got this thing called a car. So if you're looking at trying to increase your revenue in a city by bringing in retail and brick and mortar, yeah, it's functionally obsolete. If you're not heavy into technology, you're toast. If you personally are looking to do something different with your life, if you're not well-versed in technology, you're toast, unless you're in a trade. And so what's happening is they've got these dinosaur mayors who know nothing like outside of the realm of DEI, who are coming into these cities, and let's have the Department of Functional Obsolescence. And anybody looking at this Department of Functional Obsolescence, what do you do here? Well, we go out and tell people don't do drugs and don't traffic kids and stuff. And the other people like that, what would you do? I'd be the Department of busting some noggins, and we would actually see some results. There are too many people in too many positions of authority who have no idea what the hell is needed in today's economy. And today's economy has a lot to do with these cities. And it's almost a disease. Somehow these people were selected, installed in these cities around the country who don't have any clue whatsoever. Brandon Johnson, Karen Bass, what's her name? I don't know, Lee, Mayor Lee, and now this idiot.
With my National Guard, people who are not trained for municipal policing is just not a serious approach.
But I want to go back to Mayor Bowser again. She said it has been successful. Why would you say, wait, I want you to ask me this way instead of that way? Why fight with the president?
You see, she said it there right too. Who are you to say, come ask me if you can come here? You have a false sense of entitlement. All of them do. And the common denominator with them is, unfortunately, they're black. They don't understand. You're not entitled to our money. When I say "our," I'm talking about the federal government. You're not entitled to it. You just can't sit there. That was the Biden administration. No, we don't do that here anymore. Now you have to show us. And in fact, maybe we'll even send auditors to make sure the money goes to the right place. And then when you say that to them, auditors, people watching? Yeah. You saw Herb Pritzker, didn't you? He was the one white guy who was played. Pritzker's like, no, we can't have him coming here intimidating people. So you're intimidating by watching. Yeah, it's a whole new world.